Obviously, Rapha's going to try and pick the tempo up on the Death Knight and abuse the fact that Keel doesn't have the movability, but Av3k is somebody who makes every champion look quick when he plays on form, so should be absolutely fine with that.
Here we go. We are live in the quarterfinal game. Rapha versus Av3k. Map number 1, DK versus Keel on Vale. Good Hyper Blaster right off the bat here. Into some LG. Big damage here coming out from Rapha.
Right off the bat, going in aggressive, wants to use the Flame Strike, and he connects and just blows up the Keel. So obviously not the start Av3k fanboys wanted. Nevertheless, Av3k has to now respawn and get back onto the map.
Yeah, big start there as Rapha connected fully with that Flame Strike, absolutely melting through that stack. Trying to work his way back here as Av3k has position on the Mega. He's going to take a rail, but pre-pickup, so not the biggest deal here. And now Rapha only has a natural stack to work with, just missing out on that rail as the rocket sails by his face.
Playing slow, Av3k going to drop down and just use that natural alpha to bully Rapha away. He repositions instantly up onto the high ground, recognizing he has to forfeit that low ground, not being in the right position. So again, that's just a perfect example of those micro decisions we're talking about, 40. The map awareness to instantly go and know he has enough time to work his way, and even wins the heavy in the process. Av3k still extremely healthy, but Rapha's completely gobbled up the whole map.
Just the little decision, as you said, dropping down and going to the heavy instead of dropping straight for the heavy, and then being able to push Av3k off the chase with the LG. Really smart play there from Rapha. As now heavy's going to be the next play. Av3k positioning well, zoning him out early here. So Rapha's going to have to concede this. Ooh, jumps over and makes it. Okay, I thought the rocket splash was going to knock him off, but now it's a mad dash for the Mega. What a rail from Rapha.
Insane. That absolutely won in that Mega. Insanity. And he is stacked to the teeth. He knows he can push for Av3k. He's got no weaponry to work with at this point. Just a rail. Peeks in. Doesn't want to push through the choke point and take any necessary damage. Instead, he's going to take the other resources away before making his move. But there's a second rail, both of which were hard to hit. And Rapha's in a groove at this point. He's got so much time between the two major items already. It feels hard for Av3k to even get a light, let alone a major. He's hit a good rail. He's trying to work his way across. Big damage coming out from Av3k, and this time Rapha has to scuttle himself away.
Almost tries to get that last rail here as he's got 35 HP and Av3k cuts him off. What a read.
What a read indeed. Although there's no armor up, the light just about spawning. 7 seconds. You'd expect Rapha to make a big play here to try and defend, or at least do some damage over at this heavy. He's coming out on top. The grenades are there. They're all going up, but nothing's hitting. The rocket jump comes out. He knows he's got the stack. Just a rail from Rapha. One connects. Second, that's a big one. If he hits a third, it's huge. And unfortunately for Av3k, he does. He might even get the frag!
Oh no!
What should have been a one rail kill turned into Av3k's own death. How does Rapha get out of that situation?
He went 3 for 3, I think. He made Dahang proud right there. 2-0 as Av3k takes out Av3k. Frustrating, to say the least, as he had him dead to rights, and Rapha makes just a little bit something happen with that railgun in a dream. 2-0, 3 minutes in. Still a very, very close game here, but good rail again from Rapha. There's the Flame Strike preemptively to cut off the tele play. Hits another rail into LG. Av3k needs to be careful on the chase, and the rockets won't land. Pineapple almost takes him out after the fact, but 3-0 for Rapha. Still very weak, though, for this next Mega, Dan.
We all know Rapha's got great aim, and we don't often talk about it, but this rail is keeping him in the game so far. Av3k's making the right decisions with the right pushes. Yes, it's a bit clunky. Yes, it's not that great, but the amount of rails Rapha is hitting that he really does not deserve to be in the situation he is incredible.
61% rail for Rapha right now. Definitely the deciding factor.
EU server as well.
Yeah, for those playing the home version, 90 ping for Rapha, 40 for Av3k. Just to dispel any reasons why you may think this is going the way it's going. I'm just saying, Dan, 3-1. As Rapha does have the Flame Strike and the positioning on the Mega. The rotation between the items is good. He can make his way through the top level here. Av3k trying to cut off with good pineapples and rockets, but the Tri-Bolt landing here for Rapha. Good steal from Av3k. The rocket, a little bit more LG, and Rapha's going to be happy with just that amount of damage.
You can see Rapha, though, he's making Av3k's life so damn hard. Av3k cannot get onto the upper ground, particularly when this Flame Strike is out. As soon as he sees Rapha drop down there, he's made his way up there, but it's a rare occurrence. This is where he needs to be. This is where Kale reigns supreme, but as soon as he's there, he just gets blown up, and this is the challenge at this point. How do you control the high ground?
Av3k Not really struggling to figure that out, but having a hard time doing so. Here's the rocket jump to steal the heavy. Can Av3k finish this one? 1
Not
HP!
again.
And Av3k finally taking him down with a shotgun, but Rapha making him pay. Av3k still with a decent stack, especially after that light armor, but again, positioning from Rapha off the spawn, knowing that he can get to the Mega first here. Now it's going to be all on Av3k to try and put on some pressure here from down below, maybe even go through the telly. There he goes. Good rail. Here's the rockets from Rapha not landing. Pineapples making it even more precarious here to stand on the Mega ledge, but in the end, a clean Mega, and Av3k with great LG, but gets knocked off by Rapha's LG.
Yeah, and at this point in time, what I would love to see Av3k doing is trying to find a way to just connect with some more rails before he makes his pushes, because what Av3k wants to do is abuse the fact he is keel. He has a stack. He wants to close the gap and make most use of that resource. However, Rapha's going into these engagements pretty healthy. And because of that, even though it seems like the right push for Av3k, a lot of the times, even if he gets the frag, he's coming out extremely weak. So he needs to do more work before he engages Rapha.
More work. 4-3. Good rail. Almost hits with another one here as Rapha decides to drop down. Doesn't want to contest on this one here. Next item's going to be 17 seconds. And Av3k gets caught up just a little bit. Good shoulder peek, though, to make sure he doesn't take another one on the exit. Another great rail there from Rapha.
But every one of these rails is big. It just stops Av3k from pushing any further. The items are also synced as well, so now Rapha's got a good resource to always fall back on if he plays it right, which it's Rapha, he will. So Av3k needs to try and get on top, high ground again, bully Rapha, and begin to split the items. But there you go, there's the flame strike, and he's disappeared again. And this is the challenge, he's keeping it for these choke points.
Av3k not landing with the pineapples, trying to do a little bit of machine gun funk here as Rapha has a 2-frag lead, and again, just perfect timing. The items are synced, so Av3k should be able to read this and at least get the heavy as Mega goes to Rapha, and indeed, items traded. 3 minutes remaining, Dan, for Av3k to make a move here, and as you said, he's just not landing the rails to try and initiate and open up a fight. No, big rocket.
Still time left, but Rapha's positioning is on point. Whenever Av3k's making a move, Rapha is prepared, and here's another situation where Av3k's just trying to force the issue, maybe without having done his homework, and Rapha's just going to whittle his way back up to the high ground. Or not yet, he's respecting Av3k, but once again we see the items are on the same timing. Although that could be a mistake from Rapha this time. He's just a bit greedy, tries to second guess Av3k, he's gone through, he's taken a rail, but the dodge back, the micro stunner is enough to offset Av3k's aim.
Just insane play there from Rapha. The Allen Iverson stutter step saves his life. Can the LG save Av3k's life? 12 HP. Both players extremely weak here as they're grabbing health bubbles, trying to survive. What a close shaft battle that was, man. Big rocket from above as well, keeping Av3k low. Rapha dropping down to the heavy pixel. Perfect timing.
Oh, he's going to get both. He's just doing so much damage. Av3k is weak, he's going to pick it up, but he's left with nothing. Rapha could jump on through, but he decides to play safe. Jumps on down, going to pick up the other resources on the map and work his way around the long way to the high ground. And this is what Rapha's done so good all game. He's just constantly getting back at the high ground, but this time Av3k is prepared. Rocket to grenade combo, and now he should win both items, which puts him in the perfect position for the final minute and a half.
He's a little bit late on the Mega, and now the Flame Strike in the LG. Are the Pineapples and Rails going to save him? Here, another one as well, but he can't do it! Too much stack, 4 HP. Rapha able to survive the onslaught from Av3k, and that puts him 3 behind, Dan.
The space of mind there for Rapha to even win that Mega was big. And there's still a minute to go, 40, but it's a lot of work to get 2 frags from Rapha.
Oh, but he could do it if he catches him out like this. Rapha trying to survive, but the nail's not landing.
Where does he spawn? He gets to spawn by the Mega, which means he will... Oh no, he's down by the LG. Both items go to Av3k. He's caught out Rapha. There's a rail. He knows where his prey is. He's stuck down there. He doubles back. But Rapha, too smart, gets hit by another. Av3k though, what does he decide to do?
Eating up one of the lights. Here's the jump pad.
Oh, what
good
a rail!
Again!
But he gets hit himself. He can't really finish this off. He's too weak. The items are up in any second, and he cannot afford to give Rapha an inch. But he's still got time. Rapha's working with nothing. Mega's up, and then it's go time for Av3k.
20 seconds here for Rapha. There's the rocket jump. There's the play. There's the rail. Rapha still hanging by a thread. 29 HP. Av3k plants him. 10 seconds left.
And the spawn! He's got him! What? Av3k does it again. Rapha's best map goes to the pole.
Unbelievable. Av3k clutch from behind, beyond the arc, last second buzzer beater, takes down Rapha, map number 1 in the quarterfinals. What the hell just happened, Dan?
My prediction coming through, boys. No,
it's not all about you, Daniel.
Av3k played out of his freaking mind. He had Rapha on the ropes a lot of that game, but the strategy from Rapha was there. You saw it. You saw the pick of the Death Knight come to the fore. Whenever Av3k engaged, the damage with the burst damage was there. Rapha controlled the high ground perfectly, had the rotation, but the way in which Av3k just kept the pressure on, man, eventually he got through. Rapha's rail was disgusting all game long, but it just took that little slip at the end, and Av3k snuck in and was able to finish the job.
The war of attrition goes to Av3k again, staying on top of it, not giving up, and just wearing Rapha down, literally down to the wire, but got the job done. And I'm not gonna lie, Dan, Twitch chat predictions in shambles. Av3k has made some very rich people. We're gonna see a lot of highlighted messages here after map number 1. And just an amazing display from Av3k. Absolutely amazing to be able to keep his head in the game and just bring this back. Usually we see Rapha in this situation, but it was Av3k this time to be down, overcome the odds, and take down the undefeated champ 7-6 as we take a look at the summary for map number 1.
But the big turning point in that map, as we spoke about in the mid game, was when Ravic's rail engaged. Up until that 5-minute mark or so, he was trying to push and use the stack of keel, but then we saw the rails came out, and that's when Rapha got on the back foot, because he could no longer hold that high ground when Av3k was pushing, because he was getting chipped away at. And it was from that point out, he was on the back foot on the run. It looked like he'd sealed the deal, but then Av3k, perfect engagement, played the items well, and didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the rail percentage for Av3k, it increased dramatically near the end there, stringing together those rails, ending with 65% and just even damage with Rapha on the rail. It's really, really well done for Av3k there, taking map number 1, and now has all the momentum going into map number 2, which again, Molten Falls. Rapha's going to be on the Strog, Av3k on the Anarchy. And one of the rare times we could say that Rapha is in maybe danger of being knocked into the lower bracket.
I'm preferring the Strog pick here, if I'm completely honest. Like, Av3k loves Anarchy, and so he's going to be completely comfortable on this map, but it's about tempo, and Rapha can set the tempo just as quickly on the Strog, but has a bigger stack, has the burst with the Pika. So Av3k's going to have rail engaged once again to keep into this map, because if he lets it slip, Rapha will be all over him.
And we'll see. Rapha has to clap back here, in danger again of being knocked into the lower bracket, which would shock the world, I would imagine here. Av3k looking great after map number 1, taking that comeback, and we are going to go into map number 2, Molten Falls. Quarterfinals action here on day 2 of the Quake World Championships, and we're live. We're starting off on Rapha yet again here. Rocket spawns straight into the armor, and big damage, and that's a frag right off the bat. A little bit too telegraphed there from Av3k.
Yeah, definitely. It's a common engagement, and he's all gone straight on through. Av3k obviously expecting him to pick up the heavy, but Rapha realizing what's the play here, and this is the problem now. The pace of the Strog, he can just match the Anarchy, so Av3k is already on the back foot.
Another frag from Rapha there, almost sending him down to Rapha's little cottage down there, but no, the LG will plant him. Good rail off the spawn as well. Av3k needs to be careful, trying to land some rocket damage, but instead just hugs at Rapha like a boxer, but it doesn't work out for him. Rapha up 3-0 early.
I was about to say the only blessing in disguise was that he delayed the pick up of the Mega, meaning the heavy was there, but he got the worst fortunate spawn down below, so Av3k doesn't even get the heavy, and now he has to contest with a fully stacked Rapha, no resources on the map, and a perfect rotation of all the items. Rapha knows when this lights up Av3k, that's why he's there, and that's why you're dead. So Av3k now has information of when all the items are, but he also knows that Rapha has perfect timing and a perfect rotation. So Av3k has to play around the fact that Rapha's going to be using those lights as bait, and he'll want to engage Av3k down there. He's given up the Mega though, but he's done it to pressure Av3k over by this next light and the rail.
using that peeker as the gatekeeper there. Av3k wanted to try and slide on by, but Candy takes a big rocket as well. Av3k needs to be careful not to get caught here. Just missing out on the rail opportunity. Rapha goes for the double peek, but misses. Still up 4-0 as the Mega is going to be the next play here. Is Rapha going to try and make some form of presence known? It looks like he's just going to concede again, Dan.
Yeah, he's respecting Av3k now. He's got himself a sizable lead, so doesn't need to take any unnecessary risks. It's up to Av3k to do that. So Rapha will play around the desperation Av3k might need to show. Obviously, we've got plenty of time left. However, when you're the one in the deficit, you always are looking to make a more proactive move. And Av3k sticking around here awkwardly when there is no item up for 15 seconds. I'm not entirely sure what the game plan is. And Rapha could just play around the fact that Av3k's just waiting on this item. Surely Av3k will die. Did he?
He does, clips the skateboard on the edge there, and yeah, just a huge timing flub from Av3k, and Rapha taking that one easily here. Av3k able to get back on the Mega now, good damage here, swaps to rockets, might be able to make something happen as the machine gun reigns supreme though, but Av3k still extremely weak, hanging in there, and Rapha, with a flick of the wrist, goes up 6-0.
And you can, this is the challenge now. How do you come back from here as Av3k? It's going to have to be running around, and Rapha's protecting this rail as well. And this is the bait for Rapha. He doesn't even need to extend to the other side of the map because he can just keep this rail on lockdown, which is pretty much the only lifeline for Av3k.
Av3k making his way towards the rail. That one rocket maybe delaying the inevitable here, as you mentioned. Av3k wants that rail, needs to play a little bit of distance, try and get some big damage from far away. Rapha knows everything that Av3k wants right here. He's just denying it. Decent rocket on the way out, but Av3k actually gets the better of him here, but that last rocket saves Rapha's life. That would have been a push for Av3k and potentially a frag there.
Had to pop the inject, and this is the back and forth. Rapha's more than happy with his 6-frag lead just to stick around the rail and defend it, because what are you going to do? If Av3k pushes through a choke point, he's the Anarchy, he's the lighter man here. And without a rail, he can't make a play.
Bit of tri-bolt defense here, and Av3k is like, please, please. Rapha says no.
Rapha refuses to let Av3k play Quake Champions at this point.
He's like, how dare you make me bleed my own blood? As Heavy's up, but again, prioritizing the light first, doubling back to get max stack, and then just like that, going back and making sure that this rail, if it's picked up, is not free at all for Av3k.
Av3k's now got onto the high ground, he's got himself an LG, he's come back through hoping to double back on Rapha, but the rockets once again are just perfect from Rapha. And Av3k's only got a light and a Mega to work with, not anywhere near enough resource to make a move. And it's just frustrating for Av3k at this point because he doesn't know what to do. This time he's done a lot of ship. He's making a move towards his Heavy. He doesn't have timing, but have an idea of when it is, and that is a huge rail. The inject to nullify it, and Rapha will double back and probably make his way to the Mega. But now Av3k finally, 4.5 minutes in, he's got his beloved rail.
No, he doesn't. He didn't get the rail, Dan. He's going to double back, but now he can get it. But still, very interesting that he didn't pick it up immediately. As right when he needed it, it's there, but Rapha with a rail of his own fires back. Almost hits with another one. A silent play here from Rapha, waiting. Potential for the telly play. Oh, so sneaky, but doesn't get any damage. Is able to get the Heavy and might even make a beeline straight to the Mega. Good rail there from Rapha, but doesn't really need to aggress. Still a 6-frag lead, very firmly ahead. And as you mentioned before, he's just completely content with this back and forth doing damage where he can, almost converting that one. But he doesn't have to chase anything, Dan.
Nope, he's reading Av3k like a book at the moment, cutting him off at every turn. Plenty of choke points for him to play in, and now as soon as he's out of position here, he moves on back. Actually willing to push on through. He knows he's got the stack advantage, just trying to do any damage on the pickup, but decides against it and wants to play the safer route, picking up the Mega.
Yeah, just really, really smart from Rapha. I mean, he times pretty much every item on the map and even the opponent's ability at times. What a rail! Hitting the tail end of that skateboard on the way out.
He's also got this light on lockdown to fall back on if he takes damage. He's more than willing to push in here and take a little bit of a risk. Jumps on down, uses the peeker, nothing connects. Might just try and do some damage from above here, and Av3k struggling once again to do anything. The tri-bot comes out. As soon as Rapha doesn't hit a few, he knows his time is up, doesn't want to overextend.
Yeah, he'll take a couple pot shots, but he knows exactly the items he has to fall back on. More than comfortable, as you said, with the 6-frag lead. And Av3k, as time ticks away, just grains of sand putting pressure on Av3k to make a move here. Is it going to be through the telly? That might be deadly here. The Tri-Bolt and the rockets raining down from Rapha. Inject forced out, almost connects with that rail.
But this is also the challenge with the Anarchy. If you had a more tankier option or the burst damage of a ranger or anything, he could try and make a play. But the light champion with a fairly standard skill set, just the air movement and the speed, can't do anything fantastical. So he has to just outplay Rapha, and at this point, Rapha's not making a single mistake.
Indeed, mistake-free, as he knows that he is one map away from being knocked into the lowers. And he knows the killers that live down there, Dan, so Rapha wants nothing to do with it here. Nice little move here with the shotgun. Wow, Av3k.
Nice.
Big damage there, punishing Rapha, as it was not as clean as it should have been. There's the heavy pickup as Av3k sneaks in off the spawn to get that. And so a glimmer of hope here, but 7 frags down, it's going to be pretty insane if Av3k can make this comeback after the map 1 comeback we already saw.
I mean, Rapha is in the zone and probably pretty angry from dropping his first map in, 6 months. So I don't see him slipping with 2 minutes to go at this point. It's been, to put it bluntly, a masterclass on how to play Molten. And Av3k has been hopeless. He's been trying and throwing everything he can at Rapha, but he's been unable to even get him in a critical stage, let alone anywhere near a frag. And obviously the start
after that first map loss, maybe he took that personally. As 7-0, looking to add maybe another one here. Swaps to LG. The Mega just on time for Rapha. 8-0 indeed, as he adds another one to the body count. Minute 30 left here. And at this point, Av3k probably hyper-focusing on the next map. It'll be the 3rd decider here. Exile. Sorlag versus Galena is what we're going to be in store for, Dan.
But yeah, I mean, this is a perfect example of what not to do at the start of a map, because if you give the best Quake player that ever lived a 2-frag lead and full map control, he just doesn't make a mistake.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Big LG as well. There it is. 1 minute left, and Rapha still wants more frags.
Oh, that... It might get a frag! Yay, he's on the board. But if anything, it's just at most a consolation.
2 frags indeed, maybe a little bit more, but this one is going to be Rapha's. So we get our 3rd map for the first quarter final set, Dan. Not too bad between Rapha and Av3k. It's going to be decided on Exile. Santa's Abandoned Workshop. Don't know who called it that, but that's what it is now,
That's pretty creepy.
Isn't it? Yeah, that's where dreams go to die. And for one of these players, unfortunately, the dreams being in the upper bracket will die, Dan. So 15 seconds left for this one, as we're going to queue up Exile. And yeah, just as you said, a bit of a masterclass on how to play, and just a bit of a rough start for Av3k, giving up that advantage early, and Rapha just running with it.
Yeah, we were concerned about the Anarchy pick from the get-go, and it was made infinitely worse by the start that Av3k got. So condolences to Av3k, but Rapha didn't miss a beat, and obviously will put him in a much better position moving into map 3 in a confident stage. And as you said, I think he took map 1 personally.
He definitely took that one personally. This, in his mind, I'm sure it should have been 2-0, and he should have been on to the next. But Av3k with an amazing comeback on map number 1, and this is going to give us birth to a map number 3 after Rapha with a bit of just full control, we'd say, across Molten Falls. You take a look at the highlights here, and it was all just the Rapha show. Nothing too overly flashy, but just fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals all the way through.
I think what it is a perfect example of is that you don't, like, full control doesn't always mean you have to go out and just swallow the map. You have to control your opponent, and that's what he did. He controlled the side of the map that Av3k didn't have access to and that Av3k desperately needed. No rail, no LG for 3 or 4 minutes, played in the choke point, gave Av3k resources, but not enough resources to make any move. So he understands the situation, and he understands the power balance on the champions. On an Anarchy, what can you do? You don't have any significant burst with your ability. You have to play a better game than Rapha, and he just didn't let him do that.
Yeah, and it's a bit of an older strategy, given the older Quake titles and the respawn times on the weapons. You don't really see that kind of weapon control so much in Champions, but it was refreshing to see, and Rapha did it so well for, as you said, 3 to 4 minutes, completely icing Av3k away from the rail and just shutting down that rail game, and the ability to get some chip damage and then move in off the back of that. So, well done to Rapha. And again, 1 apiece now between Rapha and Av3k as we're going to go to the third map shortly. Exile, Sorlag versus Galena. In terms of the matchup, you said you favor Sorlag slightly on this one, Dan?
I think a well-played Galena is always going to be strong, but I feel that the Sorlag just offers everything Galena does a bit more easy. Sorry, a bit easier to execute, and obviously off the spawn you're less vulnerable and not as reliant on the cooldown with the totem. So the Galena is definitely strong, and we've seen it in the past. When you build that overstack up, Exile is a good map to do so. So if Rapha doesn't keep on the totem, which is unlikely, it puts him in an amazing position. However, Rapha has stack and speed and then a spit on top to go with it. And it suits his playstyle on Exile perfectly.
Let's take a quick look at the predictions here. As the chat has spoken, 85% predicting Rapha over Av3k. Again, I think it would be a little bit closer, but what do I know, Dan? I just work here. We'll see. Exile's going to be the third map, the decider for this best of 3 in the upper bracket quarterfinals. And as always, the most important question on Exile is who is going to fall to Sync Error's Siren Song as he wants to swallow some souls. And we'll see here shortly as we're live on map number 3, the decider between Rapha and Av3k.
Rapha with the heavy spawn, gonna go pick up that rail instantly and work his way back around to the LGM rocket, gets up onto that high ground, whereas Av3k obviously still awaiting those resources, and because of that, Rapha knows he's in a position to continue to pressure Av3k without the rocket to his name. He's forced just to play this mid-range game, but he's done a good job at that. So Rapha is forced into a retreat already. Av3k can finally get to the side of the map he needs to be at. Lovely chip damage, and that small little tickling of damage is so key, but Rapha once again reading the double back onto the heavy, known timing, although it was before the pickup, so it's not that big of a deal. Still mentally playing on Av3k's mind.
Nice pickup of the light there to get that stack back up for Rapha, and for those playing the home version, this is an EU server yet again. Ooh, Rapha almost getting big damage on that rocket. He just knows, Dan. He just knows. There's the tri-bolt just out of range. Av3k getting a little bit of damage on his return fire there. But heavy will go to Rapha. Missing with that rail. Av3k able to pick up the mega, but does get railed after the pickup.
Yeah, but low on resources here, not a lot of armor to work with. He's just going to have to fight it out as he can't drop down. Big rockets coming out from Av3k. The second one misses, the third one hits, but Rapha connects with the rail as well. They're both extremely low, but ticking down with the spit. Av3k comes out, but he gets the nice little spawn to block Rapha's advances, and now he's walking away licking his wounds.
Rapha hanging on by a thread right now as he has to concede the heavy. Here's the jump pad, tries to make a move to the mega, but even the mega is not safe here as he hits some great string of tri-bolt, cannot land with the rail, can't even buy a rail right now, Dan. And that's just going to be all Av3k as he takes full map control.
Yeah, one of Av3k's biggest strengths, it's really difficult to see properly on the stream, is just his constant damage output. His weapon choice is always on point, and because of that, you're just always at risk. He's continually chipping away at you to the point where you're low enough and he feels confident to rush on in.
Yeah, so TLDR for the new players, stay strapped as Rapha 1-0 up, mega to his back here as he's making sure that any advance through the telly will be punished with rockets, but now he's down to 1. But does get a clean pickup, so not a huge deal. Looking for an exit rail, no dice, but he is able to take out a totem. And that's going to be potentially key here, as Av3k does have another totem in the pocket. But he hasn't really gotten any economy going in terms of a fortress or anything like that set up yet, Dan.
No, exactly, and this is the challenge now. Look at Rapha's stack, he's just going to push on in bully. It's going to have to be some big rockets from Av3k. They're decent so far, but Rapha's been just as good. Another totem comes down, doesn't get a lot of utility out of that, and goes down to himself in the end.
Big shotgun, but it's not enough, Av3k. The machine gun reigns supreme. Rapha goes down, and we're back to 1-0. Rapha's still ahead, but Av3k, just as you said, the damage output is constantly high.
That was huge damage. Did fall back onto the pickup of the heavy, I don't think Av3k got the exact time. He would have a big timing, and there he goes through the TP. Takes huge amount of damage. Could have gone down there. Av3k does have time, though, to pressure this Mega, and it's a big item for him to do so. So that's exactly why Rapha retreats, understanding that Av3k will be there. It's a good map awareness from Rapha.
Preemptive LG there, waiting for this heavy. That's going to be a clean pickup for Rapha. As the light goes to Av3k, goes through the telly, needs to be careful. Almost gets caught out with a rocket there. Rail just missing out as Rapha doing a good job of controlling the high ground here. 10 seconds till the Mega. Trying to get some damage before the pickup here, but taking a little bit too much, and now he drops down, needs to go through the telly, and it might be a mad dash here depending on how Av3k wants to play this.
Av3k could win both now if he plays this right. He falls onto it. Rapha's going to make his way around. Should get there in time, but there's Av3k already. Big rockets coming through. Rapha picks it up, and the rail doesn't connect. Would have been a critical rail. Av3k actually delaying that heavy in order to make that move. Risky play, but that's what you're going to have to do against the likes of Rapha.
Good clapback from Av3k there as Rapha does land a rail, but Av3k making sure if the rails come out, he's going to hit at least one to try and even it up here. Again, working against the stack of a Sorlag could be an absolute pain.
But you can see also the respect from Rapha as well. He's understanding, he doesn't want to push Av3k. He's playing the long game, trying to play the rail game. But it's also because Av3k is doing such a proficient job at keeping on top of Rapha's stack. He's not able to make these moves. Once again, he's in Rapha's face. He's not afraid. Earlier damage and drops on down once he doesn't do enough. Big rocket from below, though. Comes on through the TP. The Mega's not there. Rapha's a bit stuck.
Oh, but a huge rocket.
Word.
That rocket getting him out of harm's way there as Rapha was trapped a little bit early on the Mega. Now he's going to be able to double back and pick this up for free.
Delaying it as well. Av3k sees it, though. Huge rocket through the TP once again. He's living on the edge, but Av3k doubles back with the shotgun. Can he pressure Rapha off the spawn? He's going in. He's just a second too late, though. Rapha's already left the vicinity. Doesn't hit the critical rail. He has timing on both items, though. Rapha's on the high ground, so can continue the pressure. Av3k chasing him around and just again misses that tail.
Backs up into a totem. Rapha needs to be careful. He can't even make it through the telly. Av3k absolutely lighting up that dinosaur.
Did he mean to drop because the Mega was still up? And Av3k's now found him here off the spawn. Big rocket to himself as well, so won't be able to continue the aggression. But he's seen Rapha down there. He knows how low he is, and Rapha's a little bit trapped. Jumps on through, misses the conversion. The heavy's up in a second, and Rapha definitely cannot take this one.
8 HP. He's hanging by a thread. By a scale on the tail. 2-2, 630 Indan. Can Av3k do it? Down early? Not by a lot, but we've seen the comeback on map number 1, and it looks like Av3k is working on something beautiful for map number 3.
There's such a big split between the items. Pretty much the first time in this map that if Av3k plays this right and keeps on top of Rapha between the pickups, he can control this map now for the next few minutes. So we're going to have to see some magic come out from the American at this point to break the stranglehold that Av3k's got on this game. You can see Rapha up on that high ground already, but retreating once he knows Av3k's got the long road round. And there's going to be a big contestation for this next Mega.
Av3k's just taking the fight straight to him.
What?
Wow, what a play from Av3k. He doesn't even want the Mega. He figured Rapha was just going to stay back, try and do some ship, and Av3k says, why don't we just fight it out? And he's going to take the lead with one for Agdan.
Such a great play, using the tri-bolt to delay and delay and delay. Rapha needs to make a play. He knows how important these items are, but he's gone down again. He's caught him down here as well. Huge rocket. Rapha needs to get out of here without taking any more damage. He's already weak as it is, and as we said, he has to contest for these items. But Av3k is ready. How did that rail hit? Doesn't matter. Av3k's regrouping, but here's the heavy, and Rapha spawns right by it. He's got to stick around. There's the overstack though, 40 just in time, as if it was foretold. 4 frags, another shot off the spawn, and Rapha is on the ropes.
And that could have been the knockout punch from Av3k there. There's the rocket into another one. Rapha in a really bad way here, fighting for a light, fighting for his life, and he's going to go down to the shotgun. 5 frag lead for Av3k.
he's just been relentless with the damage and the pressure, and like we said, he's get this rotation, he's played it to a T and just not let up. Rapha has to commit, there's no other choice. He's a Sorlag, but he hasn't got enough stack 40. 8-2, Av3k pushes Rapha to the lower bracket.
Big rockets here from Rapha, but he needs to convert, and he still can't do it without the trade, and I think you're absolutely right, Dan. Rapha, as the Sorlag, and his upper bracket life has been extinct, wiped out by Av3k here, as another machine gun kill comes in, and with his dying breath. Av3k goes down again, but a trade. 10-4, a minute left, and very rare that we see this, but Av3k has done it. Oh no, and Sync gets one as well.
Oh no. And endpoint Av3k, he has lived up to all of our expectations and surpassed them. 13-4 in what was, again, absolute brutality on Exile. His performance has been out of this world, but it's only the upper bracket quarterfinals that he's going to move to now.
Incredible play from Av3k. The Polish Prince looking like a king right now as he dethrones the previous champion, sending him to the lower bracket. And I can't think of the last time Rapha even had to play through the lower bracket, Dan.
Yeah, and even if he gets to the grand final for the first time in what seems like forever, he's not going to be working off that blessing of a one-map advantage. If he is the champion, which he is, he's going to have to go the long road to win this title now.
Long road indeed, but congrats to Av3k. Wheat, I know you got to pick your jaw up off the floor, but buddy, we need you back, Papa. What happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in uncharted territory. We like no one's got a map at this point. We're all turning into cartography experts because we've never seen anything quite like this here during QPL. I mean, we have, right? I mean, Rapha hasn't won every single QPL, but looking at the last few stages, every one of them during Season 2 absolutely have belonged to the dominance of Rapha. And now the tune has changed. Av3k talked about what he wanted to achieve over the course of the season in his interviews. Rapha, certainly someone who is not oblivious to how much other players have been improving, and said himself that he needed to step up his game. We just saw proof of what Rapha was talking about. So, you know, haven't counted Rapha out yet. Obviously, you know, he's capable of great things, but he's certainly got a uncharted road ahead of him. And this is, I'm not going to lie, this is pretty exciting as a Quake fan, where we are at right now. That was the first quarterfinal. Rapha down to the lower bracket. And, you know, to your point, ZSX, if he does make it to the grand finals, the tables will have been turned, right? He has had that one map advantage for 3 tournaments in a row. That is no longer the case. That was not the reason Rapha won in the first place, but this is kind of amazing. But
I mean, in context, you were absolutely right with what you said about we're in uncharted territory. It's not even just for us. Like, you look at Twitch chat and it looks like Av3k's won the title. It's not that. As a player in this event now, you're looking at this and saying, I can win this, you know? That aura of invincibility is no longer there. It's an inevitability that I'm meeting Rapha in the grand final. Suddenly, you can go into that final with a one-map advantage. And this is Av3k, who struggled for clean sweeps all season long. He's gone 2-1 against virtually everybody. So he himself doesn't have that aura. And we saw Qcon just now look unbelievable. Cypher hasn't found his final form. And then we have other underdogs, people like Zeniku, who took maps off Rapha in training and be like, well, why not me? So
yeah,
this is a huge statement that Av3k's just made, but that was just the quarterfinals.
It is funny. I just want to comment one thing you said, because as I was watching that third game, I was like, I bet you every other player in the QPL right now has their eyes locked on this match, because it means so much for everyone's tournament life from this point forward. The game's changed. Incredible. Sorry, 40.
No. I was just going to say it's absolutely incredible performance from Av3k. Well done. And this is going to be the most tested Rapha has ever been. So watching him play through the lower bracket is going to be very interesting to see if, you know, as Dan said, like, you're the champ. Now you're actually tested more than you've ever been. let's see you do it. Let's see if you can make that greatness happen again. And yeah, just big shouts to Av3k. He did what no one else could, and he did it in convincing fashion on map number 3 as he pulled away there big.
Absolutely.
Wow, I think everyone needs a breather after that one. And that was just the first quarterfinal of 3 more that we have got coming up here in just a moment. So stick around. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, who is it going to be? I don't have it on my sheet, but I've got it over here somewhere. It's going to be Zeniku versus Cypher coming up next. Another nail biter. Stick around. QuakeCon and the QPL World Championship continues after this.